And so indeed, as you know, when you realize that you were made in the image of God, after his likeness, the image of God, meaning that as a spirit, you are like God. Now, I did not say that you are God. Even the scriptures say in the book of Psalms that you are God, lowercase g, of the Most High God. That shows the distinction between how God created you and then where he is. He is the Most High God, but he made you with a God-like ability. That's why the scripture says that we are made in his likeness. That means that if you don't like where your life is right now, change it. What are you waiting for? You're the one who chose the job you're working. You're the one who chose to do what you're doing. You're the one who chose to stay in that relationship. You have creative ability. And this creative ability that God has created you with is what he desires for you to use to live the advancing life he created you to live. And I know what you're saying today. You're probably saying, Dr. Blue, well, how is it that I'm living an advancing life for real? Well, think about your biology. Everything inside you continues to reproduce itself and move forward. Your hair grows, your fingernails grow, your bones grow, even your cells, every 3 to 6 months, I believe it is, the trillions of cells that are in your body reproduce new ones. So we have this reproductive ability inside of us that is moving us forward to become what it is God has called for us to be. And as a wealth-building specialist, it's my focus to help you start where you are. First, to realize, as I said earlier, that it's your inner world that creates your outer world. And there's nothing, hear me clearly, that exists in God that does not exist in you. That means everything that exists in God, his healing ability, his ability to call those things that are not as though they were. You and I have that same ability. When it comes to building wealth and creating wealth, the only real thing you're missing is not for God or somebody to come and give you money. No, you don't need that because you don't learn anything from that. But what you need to have is for God or someone to teach you the principles that produce the results that you're ultimately looking for. And that's why I can stand here very strongly and sternly and say to you that what exists in God exists also inside of you. And you are constantly becoming greater as your awareness becomes greater. So yes, open up yourself to realize that you're greater than what you've been experiencing. Your life that you've been living, that's only level 1. There's a 10 level, level 10, that you ought to be achieving towards. Because life has always been created for us to move forward. So as I've been made in the image of God, meaning I look like him, I also have been made in the likeness of God. Now all this can be found inside of the scriptures, Psalms 126, where it talks about, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. You can find that right there. But my point in saying this is, when I understand that I'm in the image of God, I look like him, meaning the spirit. God does not have a face, he's a spirit. He is all things, and he is the essence of action. God is all about action. God never stands still. He never sits still. He's always doing something. And you have that same ability. And because we're made in his likeness, we have the same ability that he has. And when he spoke a thing, the thing that he spoke from a believing heart became a thing that was manifested in his life. Same thing with you. Could it be that the reason why you're struggling today is because you keep on speaking that you hope one day things get better? One day is not today, it's not tomorrow, it's not yesterday, it's one day. One day is a day that is going to come but is not here yet. Maybe that's why you have such hope but no reality. I dare you to understand the power of your conversation, to start speaking what you want to see in your life. It starts that simple. When you speak a thing, so shall that thing be established, because when you're speaking it out of a believing heart. I'm not talking about some brainwashing yourself to say, well, maybe if you say it this way or that way. No, I'm talking about when you speak a thing, I expect to be successful. So success follows me. It finds me. I expect it. I speak it. I live by it. It becomes the definition of who I am. And it can be the definition of who you are too. It all starts with you first understanding where you are, then identifying where you want to be. And you know what? I want to help you in this journey. I want you to stay tuned and keep on watching and viewing these teachings that we bring to you from our company. Because the focus is we want to help you break the barriers that has been holding you back. Because there's a lot of people who feel like you go to a certain level and then you hit this glass ceiling and you come back down, but guess what? You're going to break through the glass ceiling. And on our next teaching, we're going to talk about breakthrough. We're going to talk about what the essence of breakthrough is all about and how you can break through it. But right now, what I want you to do, so I want you to do these three things. And these three things, as you do this, you're going to find yourself gravitating or moving towards what you've been created to be. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to see things as they are, but not worse than they are. See things as they are, but not worse than they are. If you're in need right now, you're in a good position. Because now you can see where there's room for improvement inside of your life. I don't care if you need money, if you need relationships, if you need peace, if you need joy. That's fine. See it as it is. But don't make it worse than it is. Number two, then what you want to do is you're going to make things the way you see them. The way you want them to be. If you don't like where you are today, stop blaming other people. Stop putting the blame on other people and look at yourself. It's your decisions, your actions that's going to give you the manifestation of what you desire. And it starts by you making up internally what it is you want. So number one, you're going to see things as they are, but not worse than they are. Number two, you're going to make things the way you see them. You want to create. This is what we call our creative ability. God has made us all with that creative ability. You got the ability to create the life you want. The level of living you desire. You can do it, and guess what? God and all of heaven will stand behind you as you create it. How do we know that? Oh, it's a universal spiritual truth that God helped those who help themselves. And it's what I call the cooperation concept. When you and I do what is possible, then God does the impossible. You see that word impossible that's crawling across the screen right now? That's exactly what you're going to have the ability to do when you start tapping into the true you. You have a creative, God-like ability to create what it is you want. And I'm not saying that sometimes this happens overnight, because most time it doesn't happen overnight. But guess what? It's a journey that happens for you. I dare you right now, just with doing those two, and I'm going to give you the third one in a minute. I dare you right now, just start speaking what you want to see in your life. Happy. More than enough money to take care of all the needs that need to be met. Relationships, joy, the father, the mother, the wife, the husband that you desire to be. I dare you right now to start declaring that to be so. And guess what? Thirdly, after you see things as they are, but not worse than they are. Number two, after you make things the way you see them. Number three, accept nothing less than that which you're looking for. Accept nothing less than that which you're looking for. Guys, if we're going to move from the ordinary to the extraordinary, we got to raise our standards up to a level that this becomes what we're looking for. And so what I want you to do, and we're going to stop right here for today because I know I've given you a lot of heavy stuff, but I want to just highlight some things. Number one, remember, your inner world creates your outer world. That's number one. Your inner world, what happens internally in your mind and your heart, it creates what happens externally. Number two, I want to give you this as well, that nothing exists in God that does not exist in man. He made you in His image after His likeness. You can do what God does. Does that mean we don't need Him? No. It means we need Him. It means also that we have the ability that He's given us to be like Him in this realm, this earth realm. That's right. You are like God here. God will not manifest Himself here. He did it one time, and that's in the personhood of Jesus Christ. And then when Christ went to glory, He gave us the power of eternity that says, and greater work shall you do, because I'm going to the Father. So in essence, He passed it on to you and said, now you walk with that creative ability that I've created you with. That's what you have. And thirdly, I want you to understand that you can do greater and grander things as you further position yourself for wealth, building and establishment. This is Dr. Adrian L, and I want to hear from you. I want you to write us at P.O. Box 589, Alpharetta, Georgia, 3009. Write us. Let us hear some of the feedbacks and the comments that you're receiving from these teachings. And this is me saying God created your life, but it's up to you to create the level of your living. You are a co-creator. God bless you. We'll talk to you again.